Hello there, divergent, typical, addicted and not addicted folks. In the last video, I talked about the major symptoms of autism. Today, I'm going to cover the minor ones. First and foremost, I'm going to start with intelligence. Unlike the more severe cases of the condition, children and adults with Asperger's show incredible academic results. This is often the case why it is hard to diagnose them initially. They're often very skilled in mathematics, science, and engineering. However, they can also be very talented in art, music, and language. Painters, musicians, poets, and writers are very often autistic. On the other hand, people with ASD can be clumsy with their motor skills. Thus, they can show poorer results in some sports, especially team sports where they require some level of social interaction. Although this is not the case for all autistic people, because there are famous football and basketball players who are autistic. I'm a good example of a clumsy autist when it comes to sports with a ball or any kind of team sports. However, I was skiing since I was 5, and I'm pretty good at it. The next minor symptom I want to cover is remembering strings of information. This is an awesome skill a lot of people with ASD possess. You can frequently see a question in autism tests whether you can remember car number plates. I find this question ridiculous, to be honest, because why would you need to? But I ended up checking it for myself, and it turned out I remember car number plates with ease. However, I'm pretty sure the question might be very confusing for someone doing the test because they might just not care for remembering car number plates. I think it would be much clearer to ask if you could remember strings of information. When I was a kid, for example, I used to remember phone numbers of a few kids and then write them down when I get back home a couple of hours later. This could also apply to music and art. I was playing the piano when I was a kid, but I couldn't read the notes, so I was just pretending to read them and I would remember everything just by heart. I learned how to play Mozart's Turkish March without reading a single note, just by hearing. A very obvious minor symptom that follows from the previous one is the uneven skill distribution that is observed with most autistic individuals. This is a big reason why autism is denoted as a neurodevelopmental condition, but I would disagree about it being a disorder, and I'm going to talk about this in future videos. In my opinion, communication skills is often what prohibits most autistic individuals to develop in certain areas, but there are other factors as well. I, for example, could not learn bathroom habits until I was the age of 7, but I could read, write, and do math calculations in my head a lot earlier than other kids. I also couldn't take myself to school for quite a while, and I was afraid from taking the public transport. However, I was the best amongst my classmates in art, music, and English. Strange eating habits is something that I mentioned in the previous video. However, I put it here since it is a minor symptom, however present in most autistic individuals. In my opinion, it stems from the two major symptoms of being keen on sameness and having a routine, as well as hyper or hyposensitivity. There are comfort foods for us, people with autism, and we tend to eat them frequently. I'm going to share in later videos how I got rid of comfort junk foods, as they can become an addictive habit. Another peculiar side of the weird eating habits, as I said, comes from the hyper or hyposensitivity symptom. My girlfriend, for example, loves the taste of sour. She can eat a bag of lemons in a single day. I, on the other hand, don't like wet food touching dry one. When I was a kid, I would ask my family to separate my food in different plates and also to give me different cutlery for every single dish. I also love and crave crunchy textures, so I was hooked on chips and deep fried food, which is not very good for my stomach. And there follows the next minor symptom, which is stomach issues. This could range from diarrhea to constipation to burping a lot to feeling sick. But in general, most people on the spectrum tend to have stomach problems. In later videos, I'm going to get into the detail of how I solved my stomach issues and what is causing them in the first place. I'm also going to give you guys some general tips on what foods are very useful not only for calming down your stomach problems, but also for decreasing your anxiety. In a lot of cases, those two are connected. Masking is the last minor and probably one of the most important symptoms I want to cover. It is most commonly used in social situations in parallel with stimming. This is in order to ease up the social anxiety experienced by most autistic individuals. In general, masking can be very detrimental to a person's life. It is often what leads to depression and even more anxiety over time, and in the worst cases, it develops to addictions. It can develop into substance abuse and other improper behavior when adolescents try to fit in a group and start picking up on their bad habits. However, addictive behavior can also result from looking for a way to calm oneself down without any peer pressure needed to kickstart the process. To conclude this video, I want to add that each and every autistic individual has a unique case and their own unique characteristics tied to it. So there are no two autistic people that are alike. Thank you folks for your attention. I hope you enjoyed my video and I hope to see you next time again. Peace be with you.